absolutely love that music. It's another Class of 2020 episode. Maxi Holmes, do you like the music yourself?
Music, yeah, it's pretty nice, I reckon. A little bit, what is it, jazz?
a bit funky, I reckon. It's called proto-funk. They're free music from whatever website we got it from. But Lockie, do you like the music? You've heard it about 200 times by now. A fan?
Mate, I love the music, but not as much as I love having an all-round athlete. So obviously Maxi, so originally it was athletics and footy, but now it's surfing, it's golfing, it's everything, mate. Like, how do you handle being such a multi-dimensional athlete?
Yeah, just be rubbish at all the other sports, really. Can't surf, can't hit a golf ball, and yeah.
How do you go at the club cricket? Because surely it's summer, the bats get out, mate. How do you go yourself?
Well, it's a bit weird. So at the club, I feel like it's either players are really good at cricket or they're really, really terrible. So I'm a bit in between. So I go all right, but quit when I was about 14, so not much chop.
By the way, Maxi was just being humble. He's actually he's very good at all sports, but unlike, I don't know if this is true and we might need to cut this, but is it true Joel Selwood's only good at one sport and that sport is football?
I hope he doesn't listen to this, but that's very true. A quote from someone who used to work at the club is that I've never seen someone so good at one sport be so terrible at anything else.
I'm sure the skipper does definitely listen to this podcast, Maxi, so you might be in strife.
He's number one fan of the show.
I just want to share it. Sorry, boys, I can't share it just in the off chance he listens.
Maxi, we were talking a bit about COVID off air. Ryan Angwin, just in the episode before, about 15 minutes ago, he was telling us he got knocked around really bad. He was just off his game for a good 2 or 3 weeks. Whole Giants team, they were all wiped out. How'd you go with the old corona?
Yeah, geez. No, I was fine, and most of the boys at the club have been really good with it. For me, I didn't actually know I had it. Just people were testing positive around me, so I was like, oh, geez, I better get tested just to do the right thing, and then came back positive. Sat around for a few days, and yeah, I was sweet after that. So yeah, I haven't actually heard of anyone at Geelong that has been real sick from it, which is good. So.
Well, that's good. You had the mild strain of COVID along with, I'm sure, a few mild vodka lime sodas down at Portsea Hotel that night.
No, the drink's like $25 that night, so
had to call up the manager. Hey mate, how's the contract extension coming along?
Nah.
Yeah, but like, have you signed on since you started? Any contract movements?
A bit of talks at the moment. Just like real early stages, but just taking it slow. I kind of just asked them to hold off for a bit. I just want to just with the strong team. I don't really know where I sit in the team, so I really want to just nail these last couple of weeks that we've had from the pre-season, really crack into the season. So I've just kind of had one focus, and that's that. So I don't really want to blind my view a bit. So yeah.
Yep. So code word for Maxi just wants to get a few more games, drive the prices up. No, we're just kidding. We can cut that if Maxi wants. But anyway, we'll get this back on track. So, mate, how's the pre-season been going? You've said you've been really locked in the last couple of weeks. Can you tell us a little bit how your second pre-season went?
Yeah, it's been really good. So got a full pre-season in this year, which is good because last year I had glandular fever. So that knocked me around for a bit. So, been fitter than I ever have been. I've getting stronger in the gym, which is weird signs for Max Holmes. So, it's been really good. I feel like I'm much more confident as a football player, and I've played a couple of decent pracky games, so hopefully we can keep moving on from there.
Yeah, beautiful, mate. The glandular fever, hope that doesn't come around again, anything like that. But you played, I think it was 12 games technically last year, a few as many sub, you didn't actually get on the ground. But what's the aim this year? You aim to just play every single one, all 22?
Well, I guess every game would be bloody nice, but it's pretty hard to set a number goal on the year. Just things happen, like injuries, COVID, all that stuff. So I don't know, I just want to get out there as much as possible, try and play as well as I can. So don't really have a set number in mind. So yeah.
Yep, and it'll be good to see the number 9 rolling around. But how was your off season in general, mate? Like the last few weeks of pre-season, just off the field, how's it all going? Just been playing a bit of golf and hitting a few holes in one.
What? Just how have I been going golf, or just how have I been going?
Just in general, man. I just want to check in.
No, it's been good. I feel like, or especially these last couple of weeks, it's been more of a time to kind of relax, recover, regenerate right before the season. So yeah, getting a bit more golf sessions in just to sit back, but not getting much better. Definitely no holes in ones.
Just a few eagles.
I'll let you know when it happens, all right?
I love that, mate.
No doubt will be on the Instagram page for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But then how has that been the step up for the second pre-season? Because I'm sure that they've just sort of unleashed you into everything, whereas your first one you've been having to hold back. So has it been a lot tougher?
Yeah, it has been. I think it has been tougher, but considering last year I did have that glandular fever, that was tough. Like, I just get home and I wouldn't be able to do anything. So, other than that, body's been sore, of course, but it actually hasn't been too terrible. Not sad to see it go, but I'm not worried for next year.
Yeah, not going to run some 400s in your spare time.
Yeah, probably not. Nah, yeah, done with those.
So, what have the coaches been telling you pre-season? You training in a similar role and all that?
Yeah, well, I'm actually I've been training more of an inside mid role at training. Last year I was just thrown a bit everywhere. It was their kind of way of saying, where can this kid play? So yeah, it was a bit all over the shop. But this year, yeah, really been inside mid. And from all reports, coaches seem pretty happy. So yeah.
Yeah, what's your role in the inside? Is it more sort of to apply that defensive pressure? Because I feel like tackling is obviously a major strength of your game and just the ability to get to contest. Yeah,
well, I think something that I bring to the table compared to our other mids is a bit of transition and a bit of spread out of the contest, because we got some real inside bulls like, Parf, Joel,
Sparkle Narkle.
What's that?
Narkle,
yeah, exactly. So it's like a lot of blokes like that who are real good, like right in and under. So I think I bring a bit of the transition to that as well, which I think the coaches like. So yeah.
And there have been a few new faces added to the coaching staff, right?
Yeah. Who we had? We had Knights, Scarlett, and Corinne Wright leave last year, which was. I think it was weird for a lot of boys because they've been around for a lot of years. But for me, it was kind of just like, in junior footy, your coaches change every year. So it was kind of not that unusual for me to delve into this year with the new coaches. But yeah, we've got some new faces like Eddie Betts, who's great, James Kelly, Matthew Egan, Shannon Burns, Jason Lappin, like just some really good heads that we've tinkered with the game plan a bit. To like better suit some players, and yeah, I think it's gone really well in this pre-season with these new guys. So we'll just have to see how it goes in season.
Yeah, sounds like there's a really that's super exciting. Is there sort of like, has the vibe around the club changed a bit with these new faces coming in?
Yeah, it has. I don't really know how to explain. It's hard to judge a vibe, but I don't know. Yeah, it feels like there's some fresh changes around the club. Not to say that it was like old and slow last year, but I think it'd been the same faces for a long time. So I think it's been good to have new, fresh faces to learn and develop from at the club. Yeah. You
mentioned tinkering with the game plan there. Can you give us any podcast exclusives here? Tell us how it's been tinkered with.
They're putting Maxi out of the square. One out.
Nah, essentially we're trying to move the ball a bit quicker. Like I think last year, one of our downfalls, which was, it went well in plenty of games, but I think it was heavily noticed in the media that we had a bit of a slower method, which in the end, like against Melbourne, that last game was definitely killed us. That their speed of ball smashed us around the ground. So I think we're just, trying to be a bit faster with it. Move it along. So yeah.
Have any one of these particular coaches, the new faces, really kind of taken you under their wing and, I don't know, taken to you one side and given you little nuggets of advice, anything like that throughout the pre-season?
Not in particular. I'd say James Kelly mostly. Old number 9 for Geelong, which is cool. He's been really good. He's a great coach. Knows a lot about his footy. But I'd say I've worked closely with Nigel Lappin and Sean Grigg this year as well. It's kind of just spread out evenly, I guess. Yeah.
Number 9 for Geelong, but even more famously, number 47 for the mighty Essendon Bombers. But Lockie, you were going to say something there?
I forgot he even played there.
He had a good 3 years there. It was very serviceable for us. But Lockie?
Anyway, I reckon we get the chat back onto Max, and I want to talk a little bit about the pre-season games. And before we launch into the games, I'd just like to say now, our Instagram DMs, Max received a little bit of backlash from his younger brother about his goal kicking. And I'd just like to say, if anybody was watching the Gold Coast Geelong game, Maxie, straight through the big sticks, 40 metres out, mate. I think that we just have to talk about that first. I reckon the goal kicking's back on track for this year.
Yeah, well, leading up to the game all week, I was just, after training every day, like 15 minutes, just set shots, just loading them up. Just in and again, there was just, lots of set shots and, it was pristine conditions out there, no wind, so I was just like, I'm just kicking it straight at the goals. So if it goes in, came off the foot, just went straight, and I was like, thank God. Didn't get another point.
Is that, obviously a whole lot of things you've been trying to work on and improve in the pre-season, obviously that being one of them, but what else?
I think utilising my running a bit more. I think there was a couple of occasions even last year where I get out of the stoppage and then think because the heat's on, oh my God, I'm about to get tackled, so I'll just throw it on the boots. So I think really been working on just, taking a few extra steps, being composed with it, that kind of thing. And as well as that, just, the nitty gritty stuff, the in and under work, I'm just trying to keep improving that. So, a few things on the works,
it's coming to fruition. You had a great second practice match, but tell us a little bit about how you went in more detail against the Tigers in Pracky Match 1 and Gold Coast Pracky Match 2.
Yeah, right. Well, Tigers, when was that? I was at GMHBA. So we had a big squad, but it was kind of like first half would be kind of a strong team for both sides. So I was playing in the middle early on, which I was really excited about. It seemed like my pre-season training had kind of paid off, getting the gig in the middle. So that was great. First quarter was terrible. Hardly touched it. I was a bit all over the shop. I feel like naturally I am someone that if I have a bad start, I'm a bit worried about it, thinking, oh God, I need to really get into the game here. But after that, I feel like I could get the ball in my hands and played all right, which I was pretty happy with. So that was good. And then I feel like, naturally from there, I kind of picked up where I left off against Gold Coast and did some nice things. So hopefully, I can get a gig next week and, play against Essendon and G.
Oh, mate, the Where Do We Begin derby, that one is. But is that outside role a thing of the past? It's going to be all inside from here on out?
No. Well, against Gold Coast, I started on a wing and then kind of transitioned into the midfield later on in the day, which I think is just a balancing act really, depending on who's in the team, depending on, I guess, form in each position. Lots of different aspects, but I think that's what the coach has been happy with about me, just like the flexibility to play both wing and midfield, which is handy, yeah.
Do you have a preference for either position?
I probably enjoy inside mid a bit more, but honestly, wouldn't care where they put me. So
just love going 1-on-1 against Dusty in the square.
Yeah, well, that was bloody crazy. I'm sitting there like, all right. Yeah, it's Dusty. like 2 years ago, I was watching him on the bloody TV and all that just as a kid, and then I played against him in the midfield, which is bloody weird. But I don't think he got a touch on me in the centre bounces, so.
Playing the role, we love that, mate. You don't have to give away all team selection news, but are you confident of retaining your spot for round one?
I think I've done everything I could have done to get a gig. So, look, I don't know where the coaches are going with it or the goers are. It's a bloody strong team with plenty of people knocking on the door like myself. So. Yeah, I feel like I've done all I can, but we'll see how it goes.
Outsider's perspective he's in. That's just me. That's for the listeners. Nah.
Oh, yeah. Where do we begin? Tactics experts over here. Lock him in, best 22 every week. But do you still feel like you're living the dream, Matt?
Living the dream, yeah, definitely. I think, what was it? It was a couple of days ago even, I was just sitting there like, gee, like, what does my life become like? I'm sitting here playing AFL. Like, it's just one of those things that, especially in 2020 when COVID was going on, it was just something that honestly seemed a bit far away with no games getting played then. So, yeah, it genuinely is awesome. Like, yeah, we travelled to Gold Coast to play footy the other day. It was epic.
Right, insane. And it's funny because Harper and I are living our dreams, getting to interview Maxi. So it's good that everybody's fulfilling their life dreams on the podcast today. And we'll speak a little bit about the team, mate. So how the Cats are looking heading into 22. Obviously, unfortunately, you lost both practice matches, although technically beat Richmond in 6 quarters if you count the VFL score. So yeah. If it's a 5-quarter game this year, I reckon the Cats are on for a bit.
Yeah, I think we're going really solid. I guess last year I felt like I was a bit naive, so I didn't really know how the team was progressing in the pre-season. But we've had a better block of pre-season this year. Like they showed us like numbers and stuff, like running wise and volume wise. We've got a lot more work into us, and which I think will hold us in good stead. And yeah, lots of boys, like none of the old boys like has been said in the media like that we're going to drop off. Like they're all bloody fit and firing like ever. No decline for a lot of these boys. Like Stewie's on fire. I think we're going to be fine this year. No worries at all. So yeah.
Has there been any talk of how last season ended to maybe fire you up a bit, or is it just forget about it in the past? Honestly,
it's pretty much just forget about it. Like first week of pre-season, no real mention of it. I think there's there's no real need to delve into last year. I don't think we're focusing on this year. The way that last year ended has no real influence on round one next week. So, yeah, it's kind of learn and forget. So, yeah.
Have you thought about it personally to rev you up a bit for you personally and for the team to go into bigger and better things just in your own mind?
Yeah, sure. I've definitely thought about it. It was not a great day. And don't want to ever play in a football game like that ever again. So I want to be on the other side of that. But to rev me up, I guess I'm trying to put in the past that 80-point losses aren't great. So I'm not trying to remember parts of it every day. So yeah, I think we're revved up as it is for round one. So don't need to be fishing in the past. Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks, Harper, for reminding both Maxie and myself of that dark day. Seriously, I apologise to Max and the listeners for Harper bringing that up. But mate, so it's obviously a few new fresh faces around, a few players who might have played a few games in previous seasons. But can you give us another young player apart from yourself that you think is set for a big year?
Probably DK, Sam de Koning.
Is that just because he went easy on golf with you yesterday? Is that why you're naming it?
No. He did not go easy. So, he's had a terrific pre-season. He's weighs like 100 kilos now, which I think he told me he came into the system at like 84 kilos, something ridiculous like that. So he's put in a lot of work, and I think as we've seen in the last 2 practice games, he's got that ability to play that real lockdown role. He's hasn't had any goals kicked on him. He's clean with it. So again with team selection, I don't know how the ball's gonna fall. What's the saying there? I don't know, but I don't know the team selection, but I do feel like he's gonna have a good year. Yeah.
So obviously, look, I don't want to remind you again, but last year didn't quite make that grand final. And by the way,
let it go, Harper. Let it go. Let it go,
mate. If Essendon ever get past the first week of finals in my lifetime, you've got full license to say whatever you want when we get knocked out the second week.
Maxie's played in more finals wins than your club has since 2004.
Yeah, mate, I'm well aware of that. Thank you very much. But Maxie, has there been talk of what the team's aiming for this season?
Oh, I think just naturally it is the grand final. We haven't really set a task as such. I think it's slow steps at a time. But I think in the back of everyone's minds, it's let's win a flag. But it's genuinely small steps at a time. Let's get through the first few games. Let's win the first 3 games and go from there. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, mate. Well, I think the boys will be in good stead. Good pre-season numbers, a few young players coming through. I'm very excited to watch the Cats this year. And I think, Harper, you have the life philosophy.
I do have the life philosophy. So in the last couple of episodes, you'll know full well, Max and all the listeners, that we've been asking you if you've got a life philosophy. And we listened back. We're not going to ask you the same question again, but you were talking about how you want to show people the best version of yourself kind of thing. So instead of asking you what your life philosophy is this time, the question is, well, what's the time where you've thought about that life philosophy you spoke about or used it in the off-season, pre-season?
I think
down at the Portsea Hotel. No.
I think that kind of thing. At the club this year, we've had a lot of new faces, so I think just bringing some positivity to the air to kind of make some younger guys feel comfortable is good. And just be my best self to those guys to give them someone that they feel comfortable talking to at the club and someone they feel comfortable like asking questions and all that, especially early on. So I don't know.
Obviously, you've been in the draft class of you in the draft class of 2020. Obviously, name of the series. But have you taken anyone from the class of 2021 under your wing, perhaps, and given a bit of a guide along?
I'm probably not old enough to take anyone under my wing yet, but and saying that I'm more than open to helping a lot of the younger blokes out, especially like. A couple of our boys have been injured. James Willis and Flynn Krogers haven't really trained much, but boys like Mitch Nevitt and Cooper White, who are playing midfield, like myself, like always willing to give them advice if they need it in there. But probably not old enough to take someone under my wing yet. Give me a few years, maybe.
just show them the good places to go around out at Geelong. No.
Nah, they're locals. They can show me.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll do the next podcast out at Lammy's. No, Geelong Hotel. No.
Oh no.
Mate, just before we wrap up and leave it here and leave it at that, we've got a little thing that we do at the end of all the podcasts we've been doing recently. We've been speaking a fair bit about the Where Do We Begin caps that we've been selling, the corduroy caps, which you can get wheredowebegin.com.au. End of every episode, we're giving away a little discount code for 20% off, and usually we just go with the guest name. So if you want to go onto the website, plug in Max Holmes into the little discount code spot on wheredowebegin.com.au at the shop there, you can get 20% off a cap for yourself. But other than that little plug, Lockie, you got anything else?
I'd just like to thank Maxie for coming on. I hope he comes on again because I've probably ripped into him a bit too much. But always a pleasure, Maxie, coming on. And thank you so much for the listeners for sticking around.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. After your comments about grand finals and those prelim finals, that's probably my last time on the show. But I wish you all the best.
Goodbye forever then, Maxie. No.
Cheers. No, it was good. Good to be back on. So, yeah.
Thanks, mate. May or may not see you in 6 months, but whatever happens, we'll see everyone on the next episode. Thanks for listening, guys. See you soon.
See ya.
Bye.